going on, guys? It's been about a year since I started the Kevo, the traveling bartending thing. And I've gotten a lot of great reviews from everybody. I appreciate everybody that I've been at festivals and events, and everybody's come up to me like, "Oh my God, you're Kevin! Oh my gosh, I love your videos." I really do appreciate that. I never really expected that going into making these videos. I really just wanted to make it helpful for everybody, so that way they don't have to ask 1,000 questions, or the regular bartenders don't have to answer 1,000 questions. But I've liked all the feedback. It's actually helped me get a couple jobs. I really do appreciate that for all the employers that have hired me. I really appreciate that. It's given me a lot of great opportunities. One thing I will say, one thing I do want to say about, I'll add something into this video other than thanks, is some of the mistakes that I've made this year. As John Maxwell said, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. So I don't really consider them losses. I just consider them times that I've learned not to do something or something to do better, because you can always improve. I don't care if you're doing this for a year, you've been doing this for 10 years. There's always something new to learn. I did figure out, obviously, something that I like to hit on a lot is doing the right thing at all times, not just when people are looking at all times. I worked events this year where, for example, I was working American Century Championship in Lake Tahoe, and I was one of the individuals who did not get moved from a certain area, and 5 other people did, because they took their phones out and took pictures when they weren't supposed to in a celebrity tent. I was the only person that didn't get moved. The other people did get moved, but they got moved to better bars. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm not really worried about that. What I did appreciate about that experience was that the CEO of American Century himself came up to me and actually gave me money out of his own pocket and said, "Thank you for taking care of my guests and being professional." That meant a lot to me. I just, obviously with doing this, you never expect anybody to go out of their way to say thank you, or go out of their way at all to even show their gratitude. But I really appreciated that. One thing I did make a mistake on this year was picking some of the wrong people to stay with in hotels. um, sometimes you think you know people, sometimes, I've had a couple people steal from me. I had a couple people just come in late at night, and they weren't being respectful. They were drunk. They were just causing noise, causing like people not able to sleep. So it's just one of those things. You just learn. You get people that you do travel with normally, some people you don't travel with normally, and now you know who's in your corner and who's not in your corner. But there's nothing really you can do about that until after the fact. So just be mindful of your surroundings and try to follow up with like referrals from people that are mutual friends on Facebook, people that you know have stayed with them before. Pretty much, if I can go through my list real quick, I've worked for 13 companies this year. Just because some companies, they staff a lot of things, some only staff one thing. Name a few. I've worked for Spectrum, EHS, FBR, LGC, DLS, Sweet and Chili. You pretty much name it, I pretty much have worked for that company. Whether it be one event or 10. Probably my best experience this year. I'd probably have to say, let's go with EHS. Event Hospitality Solutions was probably one of the hardest events that I've worked for them, but it was also the most rewarding. I worked with people that have been in the industry for 15 plus years. They taught me a lot of things. I got to learn a couple of things. I've never driven like one of the Kubotas before. I thought that was kind of cool. They were super nice. They flew me out. They paid for my stay. They paid me fair. And also I learned a lot from those people, and I really appreciated that. And I can't wait to work for them next year. They have a lot of great events going on next year. Other than that, yeah, everybody else was pretty on par. I have no issues with anybody. I didn't have any issues with any company. Everybody was professional. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it on my year of review. If I did go through it, my number one event that I worked this year when it comes to pay was Bourbon and Beyond. My least pay was Governor's Ball. Now, it does not mean Governor's Ball was a bad event for everybody. I just had bad placement. So that just wasn't a good event for myself, but other people still made great money. So for me personally, that was monetary wise was not the best, but best was Bourbon. Also because I live here in Louisville, so I didn't really have any expenses. Other than that, I mean, I had a lot of bad events this year, just because of placement. There's nothing you can do about placement. Obviously, it's I mean, you can obviously complain to the staffer, but that just makes them not want to put you anywhere good. They won't put you in a worse spot or not hire you again. Um, yeah, bad placement, but good events. If I could do any of these events again, there's really nothing that I would really change. Um, all of them, all of them were great events. It was just bad placement on the company's part. But you can't give everybody the best placement. It's just kind of how it goes. It doesn't matter how long you've worked for the company. Doesn't matter how many events you've worked for them. Doesn't matter. They're pretty much going to put you wherever there's an open spot and hopefully do good. I've worked a couple events this year where I was supposed to be like in one of the worst spots, ended up being the best bar. So it's always a toss up. We think we're going to be at the best bar or the worst bar, and we ended up being the complete opposites. So don't ever like tear yourself down or get yourself down after the first day when it comes to like you think you're in a bad spot. Because most of the time you're not in a bad spot. Most of the time other people are in worse spots, and sometimes you're doing better. But if you get to Sunday and you didn't make as much as you thought, hey, on to the next one. It's the perks of being a traveling bartender. You know, there's always another event, and these events don't last more than like 5 days. So there's always new events that you can do. But yeah, if you have any questions, just hit me up. You can DM me or you can drop a comment below. I make a couple other videos now about greed, stealing, and a couple other things I just wanted to touch on about this year. Thanks.